Well, for one thing, I finally got around to watching Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah!
And that's a great film. What a good movie.
What is this tone?
It was really... It's the tone of, like... This is one of those things that would have been straight to DVD that people would be talking about, going like, oh man, you gotta go watch
this. Like a DC animated movie or something.
Exactly, except they just said, fuck it, let's throw it in the theater.
And then they threw a ton of money behind it.
And it was a good job, and they did a good job, and that was the right move to make. But I feel like this is something that would have been ignored and forgotten, and otherwise just like, oh yeah, loan the DVD to your friend, the Blu-ray to your friend sometime.
I don't know. The animation is so expensive. Like, I don't think you would have seen a version of this, but it wouldn't look the same.
It's super expensive, yet it's not 60 frames per second.
No, it's very intentionally not.
Yeah. Kind of like CG anime as well, where you're like, but just render more frames though. Just render more. It's crazy expensive.
Now do you see what I was talking about, where the backstory moments are the absolute best parts of that movie?
Yeah. And Into the Spider-Verse does what, like, the fact that I looked at that premise and went, oh, that's the most comic bookiest thing ever. And we're definitely ready for that because we've seen enough comic book movies. But this is unapologetic about, I can tell just based on the trailer, it's unapologetic about being nonsense in every possible way.
Some goofy fucking comic book shit happens in that movie.
It does not give a fuck about being complete nonsense at times, and that's perfectly fine. You're supposed to feel like you're watching The Incredibles or something like a cartoon that's you're fucking into, you know what I mean? Like, you're not trying to make these leaps in logic about like how that machine works or how expensive it was.
It's a big evil science machine. Shut up.
Or like what Wilson Fisk's skeleton looks like. Like, who cares?
Very much don't think of that. I love how
it's
exaggerated he looks.
It's fantastic cartooning, and
he looks like a Looney Tunes character.
For years I've been fucking whining like a baby for Miles Morales to get some love. And
he's getting a bunch of love lately.
Boy, does he! Well, but it's all. But like in the PS4 game, it was like side love.
Side love.
This is main love.
Yeah.
Big love, and it was like super direct and super fun, and it was really really nice because after going, like, I went to go see it with Steph, and after I had talked about this character for so long, after literally, it was like after every Spider-Man appearance on the big theater, on the big screen over the last like decade, I'd be like, okay, so here's what this character is.
Where's Miles though?
Okay, and there's did you see Donald Glover? Right, so he plays. They thought he was gonna be, and then you do the whole thing and you walk through the whole deal, and it's like, okay, cool, and then now like you get to just sit back and watch and go, oh fuck yeah, now I see what you're talking about. He's cool, and he fits into the good young clone new version group as opposed to the shitty fucking garbage ones. I love his, like him and X-23, him and Laura are like,
they escaped from the clone ghetto.
You guys are great. You're doing it. You're the new kids. We love you. And then everyone else is the clone ghetto is awful. Riddled with
There's a lot of Spider-Man in there.
Riddled with Dakins and fucking just awful trash, But
how many Wolverines are in that? At least one.
But they got away, and multiple writers over the years helped make them fucking work.
I think Spider-Verse's Uncle Ben twice. Actually, because Miles gets two Uncle Bens, essentially, are the best.
So I guess this isn't a spoiler cast, but it is definitely this is an acknowledgement that like you can throw these movies up in the theaters and they're not gonna disrupt anything. People will go see them. People will understand, or if the movie itself takes the comic bookness of it like as lightly as the audience wants to, then it's gonna work out great. The movie glosses the fuck over the origin story in the most hand-wavy way possible.
Yeah, I got bit by a spider anyway.
Because nobody, like, at this, like, Homecoming already did that, right? And, like, at this point, that origin and Batman's are the #1 most tired.
It reminds me, we were talking about fucking... God, what was it? Batman v Superman?
Yeah.
And it's like, do we really need to see Martha Wayne get shot again?
It's
really? Again? I might have seen that 15 fucking times now.
It's the most tired it's ever been. And
with Spider-Man, it's like Uncle Ben specifically in Spider-Man 1, the Raimi one, that's as good as it's ever going to get. That is like hopelessly tragic, and they have the little fight beforehand that feels like a really real fight that I probably had with my dad at one point, and it's like, oh god damn it,
awkward, feel bad, but
so don't try and do it again and then mess it up.
There's a side aspect to it too that I didn't realize that it was an issue until we got to this point, but over the years. There used to be the three, right? You don't bring back Uncle Ben.
You don't bring back Bucky, and you don't bring back Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Right.
Now the thing about the three as well was the fact that and then of course there's Martha Wayne and such. You know, there's the fucking the Waynes. But the thing about all these dead origin story like relatives and people is that they were. Like, because they were the catalysts for the most popular heroes, they became, like, idolized, Christ-like, boss-like figures. Yeah. You know, in a way that diminishes from similar things happening to other people. Yeah. So when you find out about like, Tim Drake and the shitty things that happened with his family...
You're like, yeah, okay, again.
Well, yeah, that sucks, I guess, but it's not fucking the Wayne family.
Or the Graysons.
yeah, you know... And like you don't get any of that stuff exactly, right? So so there's a build up that happens over time where you're like, this tragedy is so far beyond other people's tragedies, which you shouldn't do because it takes it away from.
Then they screwed up all that shit with Gwen Stacy 10 different ways back with the fucking clones and the kids and.
So when you get
Normans.
But when you get into the Spider-Verse where. It's like, hey, we all had that. We had that moment, and it's like, yeah, for me it was that. For this it was that, but you know, and you're like,
they don't go into noirs because noirs is too dark to show in that movie.
Yeah, they just kind of they play up his darkness, but noir. The funny part about noir is like I was laughing because I was like, oh, this is a hilarious take on this character because anyone who goes and grabs that comic is gonna go, woo.
Yeah.
Oh!
Like, for context, Noir's Uncle Ben is, like, cannibalized by the Vulture, and, like, his torso is ripped open and all his organs get eaten. Like, it's vicious.
Like, they play that up for the punchline, but when you go back and read Noir, it's brutal, yeah. So, anyway, all that to say that, like, I like keeping these tragedies, like, sort of localized and understandable, and when you can create the same emotion, but it doesn't build up this fucking, you know, Peter's parents or uncle. You know what I mean? It doesn't build up this insane thing where you're like, these figures are Christ-like.
Peter's parents are the worst thing about the Amazing.
Pretty awful.
And there's a lot of abysmal shit in that movie.
Pretty awful.
But him deciding to care more about his parents than about the fact that, like, he could have caused Uncle Ben to not to die screws that character up.
So obviously the flavor of the story through Miles being like more musical and stylistic and whatnot and just fucking black is awesome and I love it.
Your
and
shoelaces
it's great.
Are untied, man.
It's a choice. And that's fun. I enjoyed the flavoring. I enjoyed the
my cool uncle's so cool.
I enjoyed the thought boxes and the way they played around with that stuff. And what's super sick too is so like there's a couple people that might know, but like Hello Danger, or What's Up Danger, the main theme that plays when he's fucking having his moment.
Oh yeah,
is a song by a group called Black Caviar, and like the guy behind it was this. He's a staffer at like the old Opie and Anthony like days from on the radio, and he's currently still working with them. And it's a dude who's just working on the radio, doing the shit in the background. Got the main song in this big movie that blew the fuck up, and is now like killing it. And it's really awesome to see that like oh my god, that guy from fucking years of me listening to his voice in the background, Choi Kwan, fucking is getting his shit blown up, and he's getting super popular now with this like awesome song that kills it at the peak point of the movie, which is fucking great.
So, have you seen a Twitter account called From Script to Screen?
No.
So what they do is they'll play clips of a movie and then have the script scrolling underneath it. And one of the things about Spider-Verse that I did not notice at the time, but I guess it caused me to feel an emotion, is when Miles takes his big jump as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The camera inverts.
Yeah.
Because he's rising. And that's in the script. It's like the camera's inverted, so he's falling, but to the viewer, he is rising. And I'm like, oh!
Yeah.
That's so good!
Yeah.
That's so good, I didn't notice it!
What's it called?
From Script to Screen.
Yeah, okay. Because the script definitely writes things in that you're supposed to just notice, but you might not. Yeah. Fantastic. That's fucking good. That's fucking good. Strong. C'est fort, ça. Yeah, so that's great, of course. And not to mention, too, that, like, they do a good job as well establishing, like, a lot in very little time with, I mean, like, yeah, so, like, you look at him and, like, oh, yeah, that's his dad. His dad's the cop. He's a black guy, whatever. His mom's speaking Spanish most of the time.
Yep.
She has less English.
2-3 lines in English total.
So you're establishing that part of it as well.
Yeah.
Gwen's in and, like, doing her thing. And, like... Yeah, I guess it's just, like, the one question I had was, like, where's Miguel? And, yes, you just kind of get, like, you get answers to everything you're looking for.
You get an answer to that question, and it's way better than I thought it was going to be.
So, good job, Sony. Good job on creating a world here where you can fucking just... revisit and do whatever you want outside of MCU stuff if you want, and be as comic booky as you want, you know?
You know what I really liked about that movie? It's okay, this is a very protagonist-centered film, character-wise, because you have one big protagonist and then 5 other side protagonists. But there are just as many villains who get 0 play who cares what Scorpion's deal is?
Tombstone does 3 things.
Right? Like, Goblin is there, and the only reason you'd know it was Goblin other than Big Monster is because Spidey calls him Norman once.
He calls him Norman, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, who cares? It's not about them.
Yeah. And, well, I mean, fucking, well, and, yeah, there's... The ones
Doc gets one.
The ones that get play are like the ones that should get play.
Right.
So it's fine. Fucking, excuse me, excellent. And yeah, I would love to see these otherwise straight to DVD type situations happen theatrically.
They are talking about doing a TV show.
We brought it up last week. Exactly. Yeah. So that'd be fun. There'd be a lot of places to go. The credits shows you a lot of little nods and jokes and
to a lot of places,
references. Yeah. Also, they got every meme in. They got every single meme in.
They got the one that really mattered in.
Well, it depends. The desk or the point.
They got. Didn't they get both?
They got both.
Yeah, I'm like,
they got both.
Because the point is the harder one to do, but they got the desk in really early, so fast that a lot of people probably didn't even notice.
It was but then it's clean. It's clearly happening.
It's like,
yeah. So
I love that we live in the world now that all these people that are making these things are like, man, remember that stupid shit? It was so dumb.
They're hyper aware because they're literally just our age, but now they're working on that shit instead, you know? Like, exactly. Fucking great, man. I would love to see this as well with other things that are not Spider-Man. If you wanted to go tell any good run on a well, I mean, this is original, but like any good run on any comic that's like worth telling in its own isolated way could make for an interesting animated standalone feature.
Yeah.
You know? And I like that this proves that. So fuck yeah, to Enter the Spider-Verse.
Can we get a Enter the Spider-Verse again? But it's 5 new different,
completely different
because like I can think of a couple that I'd love to see Japanese Spider-Man.
Ben Reilly.
Come on, Japanese Spider-Man. Come on.
Fucking
the spiders.
Sure, Spiders Man.
Spiders Man.
Spiders Man.
Oh man,
you can do that. You can absolutely do
what
that.
What a pain in the ass he'd be to animate.
You could fucking Leopardon. Yep.
Oh.
Go full on Supaidaman.
Yeah.
You can get
Emissary of Hell, man.
You know, you could get and fucking throw in Spider-Side or Doppelganger just for the fuck of it. You know.
Sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. Aunt May was great.
Yeah.
I appreciated that, Aunt May. That was a fun one.
They have a one-line throwaway that implies a huge backstory that they never go into. Did you catch that?
That she says?
Yeah. So this is the minorest of spoilers, but Doc Ock says, "My enemies call me Doc Ock, my friends call me Liv."
Yeah.
And then when they bust into the house to have the big fight, she goes, "Hey, Liv."
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm like, wait, what
does that mean? Yeah,
what was going on here before this story started?
Totally. Yes. Yeah, that was great.
What?
Yeah.